Everyone, this is Francisco, and I'm recording this video because I have a theory I want to share with all of you, and it has to do with apartment, apartment studios. Um, well, studios like that are like apartments. So like condos, I think condos. And there's a ton of them. um, the other thing I remember was like a motel, hotel type thing. Um, so hotel, and inside the motel, other rooms attached. Maybe. So I remember that I went to, I think it was like a a hotel. Um, and there's this extra door. So there's obviously the front door with the card. Then you go in there, and there was another door, not the restroom door, but there was another door that was locked. That was an attachment to the other room. And I think that if if all of them are open, someone can easily have access to multiple rooms. Um, and so people can technically go from one room to the next without even having to go outside of the of these apartments. I guess the same can be true for like condos and apartments. Um, Now I just don't know how that will be possible. Um, but it's a possibility. And And I remember, yeah, there's a a girl who who has her own um apartment, but it has one of these things. And I was just thinking, 'cause I think I might have shared this in one of my other videos, but I'm not quite sure. Well, I was thinking that maybe there's a group of people out there that might use this to their advantage. To put people to sleep so they can have sex with them. Um,
During the night without without the person even knowing. I don't even know how that's possible, but I was watching a ton of videos, I mean movies. I just got done watching Stalked by My Neighbor full movie, and then before that I was watching Don't Say My Name, human trafficking shocking movie as powerful as Sound of Freedom. So I just got done watching that on YouTube as well. There's this one, Pregnant High School Students 2023, hashtag LMN, New Lifetime Movies 2023, based on true story 2023. My Guardian Angel full movie. It says eerie thriller drama. I think I finished this one off as well, but I'm not quite sure. I think I did. Anyways, so there's that one. Demonic Plastic Surgeon full exclusive horror movie, English HD 2023. I just got done watching that one as well. And this is where I got started. Oh yeah, and I watched this one too. Eddie Murphy, Norbits. It was pretty funny. Um, but anyways, going back to My Guardian Angel. Oh no, I think I did finish this one. Anyways, I got done watching all those movies. Okay, um, and basically within these movies, I noticed that in one of them, the mom sold the daughter, her own daughter, for drugs. For money, which I believe she used for drugs. And so the girl went to. I think she got rescued from all of that, and she was actually a survivor. Okay, so of sex trafficking. So there was there was that girl who got sold by her mother, and she was taken to her room. She said that she was tied up, and she was um, basically forced to have sex with guys, multiple guys, for hours. Uh, you know, in one day, but I think she said for like a month straight or longer than that. I'm not sure. So there's that one, and then there is another one. Um, oh yeah, these where these guys um, take women and they they hook them on drugs and then they prostitute them on the streets or whatever. So so there was also that one, and these criminals know, you know. Okay, so this is my point. You know, we have like CCTV with AI technology. Okay, um, so there's a lot of information about this on the internet and stuff like that. Okay, so there's a bunch of cameras everywhere. Okay, but I would actually encourage all of you out there to get yourselves some cameras for your bedroom. You know, for your house. So it doesn't have to be like a hidden camera, like right here it says hidden bedroom camera. It doesn't have to be like that. I mean, unless you guys want it to be like that, but doesn't have to be. Wait, what is this? Does your Airbnb hidden cam have a hidden cameras? Here's how to check. So I see this one in the plants, little red lights. This one over here, but I don't see this one. Maybe in the plants or in the book. I'm not quite sure. Anyways, so I'm sharing all this information for a reason. And here I have this camera. Okay, I also have this one. And it's called Litocam. Litocam. Oh, Litocam. Um, and I actually have the case where the cameras came in. says 2-pack smart cameras. Okay. So, I personally would advise all of you to get yourself some of these cameras and stream it through the iCloud. Okay, now a lot of you might think, well, these people out there in the world wouldn't take the time and probably don't even have the money to spend on like chemicals, to put someone to sleep so they could be unconscious. So I think that's what's really going on. Unconscious. Unconscious. Definition. It says unconscious, not unconscious. The boy was beaten unconscious. The part of the mind which is inaccessible to the conscious mind, but which affects behavior and emotions. Horrific apparitions, apparitions surfaced out of the recesses of her unconscious. Well, anyways, so um, these are just some of the things I can think of in the modern age, 2023. Okay, because this is all you guys might see. And if we get some blueprints of apartments So, okay, this is probably a good one right here. Well, I think, since this one is like kind of more like a blueprints, we'll just use this as an example. So I was thinking, these people, if there's any people out there, they could be using every other apartment to rent out while they use the ones that they don't rent out every other to have access to these rooms. Um, I guess For people who are renting, there's a lot of people who rent. They rent out rooms, they rent out guest homes, guest houses, and stuff like that as well. I think that these type of people can also be a potential I don't know, like they could be people that can be pried on or preyed on. Preyed. Um so they could be people that attackers are after. You know, these type of sex trafficking in the modern age. Um so I think that it's important for all of you to have cameras inside your guys' bedrooms, um, all throughout your home, not just on the outside, but also the inside. And obviously, streaming this to the cloud. I mean, for these right here, they only charged me like $10. Yeah, $10 every single month for two cameras. So it's a pretty good deal. So for two cameras, this data, whatever these cameras are recording and listening to, gets sent to the cloud. Now, since this is my bedroom, I think that, um, legally I should have some type of stickers, like outside my door, even out, like on the windows. This is my slider door, and then that window. Okay, and then obviously the door doesn't have like a sticker that says this room is under 24-hour surveillance, monitoring and recording. Because anywhere you guys go, there's stickers like that. There's a poster or some type of, you know, um, sign that says that. Um, so I was thinking that that all of you out there should have cameras because you know you guys might be alone, you guys might be single, and you guys just never know. You people out there never know, um, if if people could like fumigas. I think that's the word. Fume Fumigas. Yeah, right here. It says it says there are multiple matches for fumigas, including a Spanish verb and a fumigant. Fumigas is a conjugation conjugated form of the Spanish verb fumigar, which means to treat a place with chemical fumes, smoke, or gas to kill harmful insects or bacteria. For example, la empresa encargada, encargada del control de, de, de plagas fumiga, fumiga el apartamento una vez al año translates to the pest control company fumigates the apartment once a year. Um, Give me 1 second. I need to go use the restroom. I need to go take a piss outside. Okay. Excuse me. So, so I was just thinking about, these possibilities, and I mean, if it's possible, then all these people would have to do is somehow create some type of secret doors before renting out the apartments to access the inside, somehow. So, okay, let's look at some of these pictures right here. Um, well, this section over here, it looks good. It looks clean. It looks like, they're getting ready to rent this stuff out. Okay, so um, I've actually seen some uh, through YouTube where there's like these secret door entrances, including one inside the kitchen, and it led down to a basement. So technically, if someone has an apartment and they have a kitchen, one of these secret entrances can be made so it can lead down to the floor beneath it. And if these people have, the first floor, they might have a basement, and then they can also select which of these apartments are available or not. All of them could be available, and when someone comes, they could be like, "Oh, all of them are taken, except for this one right here, right?" Um, so this is something to consider. Now, the other thing I want you people to consider is companies. Companies that send their employees out to work, and then these employees happen to get a room together to save money. Um, this is also something for you people to consider, because um, there could be people out there who who are either drugging people right before they go to bed, or they're using chemicals or something. I'm not saying that this stuff is happening. It's just a possibility. And trust me, after watching these movies, um, it seems like these people will go to any lengths to do whatever it is that they have to do. Oh yeah, and then there's also another thing. I was going to bring it up, and then I kind of like didn't want to, or I kind of like overruled it in my mind. But I will I will say it either way. Okay, so so I was thinking a boyfriend or girlfriend, um, and or a husband and a wife. So I was thinking that in today's time and age, some of this crime out there could be more organized. It could be more structured as to not get caught. Okay, so beginning quotes, as to not get caught, end quote. Okay, so how would that look like, and why would people do that? So first of all, it will be a man who will pretend like he likes it, like he likes and loves and will do anything for his wife, for his girlfriend, who will later become married. So these people pitch in money to get a girl to you know to fall in love with the guy, to trust the guy, and then um, oh yeah, while she's sleeping, the last person she would suspect to drug her and put her to sleep. So his buddies can come over and fuck her. Um, the last person she would suspect would be her husband, and or in another situation, if there's a couple, the last thing the girl would think is, "Oh, my boyfriend's over here drugging me and calling all of his buddies over, to bust a train on me." So, like, thinking along those lines, and for people who study cases about this stuff, I'm thinking by this point they have figured out ways to not make errors, to not make mistakes. And I thought about this and I was thinking, you know, if a group of people are doing something like this, they could advise each other, okay, just fuck her, but don't bruise her up. Don't be too rough. That type of thing. So just, make love to her. That type of thing. Like if she was your own girlfriend, or like if she was your own wife. Um, because I go to sleep all the time. I wake up. I wake up sometimes 9 hours later, and I have no idea what happens in between those hours. And trust me, I have worked and I've done a lot during day hours because I work as I work as a handyman. Okay, so I start work like 7 in the morning. I wake up, I get picked up at 7. Sometimes I don't even get back home till like 4 or 5. Sometimes even 6 or 7 at nights. So sometimes I don't even come back until like 12 hours later. And trust me, during that time, we get a lot done. We're picking up materials. We've done restroom remodels. Um, we've done a few other projects. So, I mean, you guys could just imagine what could be done within 9 hours. And all of you out there think, well, when I go to bed, I just go to bed and I wake up and I continue my day. That's how all of us go to sleep and wake up. Hopefully. Um, you know, um, and I'm not trying to disturb anyone's sleep or mess with anyone's minds or brains. I'm not trying to scare anyone. You know, I'm just saying that if you feel like that you could be a potential target, I would advise you to purchase some cameras and stream those cameras directly through the iCloud or some type of you know backup system where it's synchronized, um, that's going directly to like Central Intelligence or something like that. Um, so you know there's a ton of server farms out there in the world in case um, you know servers go down. There's always a backup. There's a ton of information. There's a ton of inventions. There's a ton of people involved. Um, law enforcement. There's a lot of people involved. Um, Space people, satellites, the military. Everything that has to do with like the United States of America, for people within the United States of America. Outside of the United States of America, well, you guys have your own country's rules and regulations. Now, for outside, you know, in space, the ISS and all that, and also cameras and satellites, and now Starlink. These are different organizations that are outside of the United States of America, most likely. And not just that, but they're also affiliated with other countries. Okay, so um, so just to make that very clear, okay, because I am saying that these cameras go directly to the cloud. Okay, these cameras are not. um, internal cameras where the 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 footage only goes to my computer or whatever. That's not the case. And if it is the case, then you know that would be like a red flag. Like, wait a minute, Francisco might be under attack. The same goes for all of you out there. Okay, if you guys buy these cameras or some of these cameras, whatever cameras you buy, and you connect them to the iCloud and all that, and whatever else is out there, whatever else is out there, um, that will back up whatever your cameras are recording. Um, Without, you know, serial killers or like suspects, without them being able to take the cameras and take your computer devices or whatever, without this information being stored on the cloud. Okay, this information gets stored to the cloud. Okay, I think I made that very clear. Um, so so yeah, like, it's super weird. I know, but I mean, if these people are able, they're able and they're willing to abduct people, mothers, fathers, grandmas, um, cousins, nephews, nieces, newborns, toddlers, babies, you name it. They're willing to take, they're willing to take any type of people for sex trafficking. So if they figure it out, well, some of these approaches are not working, maybe they have gone to the lengths to do what I'm saying. It's possible. I know it's kind of weird, and you know, and I mean, but let's say 1%, even 1% that I'm correct. That 1% is still a crime. It's still, um, it still will not be accepted anywhere in the world. So like, so even 1% is high. That's a huge percentage. Um, and and it's like, where where would this be happening? Out of all the motels and hotels and condos and like what buildings, what places in the world would this be going on? Is it places like this, or is it an actual home? Because I remember that Steve Jobs, um, and his crew or whatever, they purchased like a whole like neighborhood Neighborhood. I kind of forget the story. Well, I not not like entirely, but from the information that I have learned or learned regarding Steve Jobs and his company and his um, crew members, I heard that they first purchased a lot of properties in his neighborhood, and then I think eventually they purchased. Well, they they tore down these homes, and then now they have the Apple headquarters. And you guys probably remember this Apple Park. Wikipedia. It's on Wikipedia. Um, so I heard that they actually built this near where Steve Jobs used to live. From my research and what I have learned, um, also, oh yeah. So this is where this type of information can be included. What I'm referring to. So there's people out there with a ton of money. And then all of a sudden, they can own a lot of a lot of properties. And um, they can own all of them if they want, if they wanted to. And not just that, but they can actually choose where they want to have parties, where they don't want to have parties, you know, a bunch of other things. Um, so like, if stuff like that was happening, that means that this type of logic could apply to residential communities. Okay, I'm not saying that that's what Steve Jobs and his crew did. I'm just saying that it's a possibility that anyone out there in the world is able to do this. So, I mean, obviously, if it wasn't for Steve Jobs, like a lot of these cameras and a lot of this technology wouldn't be possible for all of us right now. Um, so it's such a huge blessing. Um, so so what is my like summary. Like how do I conclude this? And I'm not asking. I'm presenting the thought to all of you for you guys to pay attention to what's coming next. Okay? So so the best thing for us to as a human race to prevent this type of stuff from happening, because eventually if this stuff is happening, these guys are going to make mistakes. That, or they're going to get, some of these guys are going to get old, or they're going to get angry at each other, and they're going to point fingers at each other. They're going to um, confess. They're going to confess their sin. They're going to confess their sins. They're going to confess whatever it was that they were doing in the dark. I'm not saying 100% of these people will, but I can guarantee all of you that at least 20%, if not more, will confess. Um, Based on the people that will get caught. Okay? So, right now, as far as the courts are understand, as far as people understand, these people might just be in jail for a possible homicide. They might be in jail for a rape. They might be in jail um, for some other violent crime. Okay, whatever the case might be, the courts have most likely determined, yeah, you're guilty, and get out of our face. We have other things to do. We're just lucky we caught you, type of thing. Okay, so these people are in there, and as time go, as time comes and goes, as time passes us by, um, something's happening, and that something is these people are growing impatient, resentful. They're growing resentful towards life and their situation, and not just that, but they're also becoming resentful towards their buddies that might have been involved. Okay, so eventually, some of these people, it might be 20 years from now, maybe 30 years from now, maybe 40 years from now, maybe 50 years from now, who knows? But eventually, some of these guys will confess. And they will say everything that they were doing in secret, and they will make it known to everyone. They will expose whatever it was that they were doing in secret, and they will bring it out to the light. Okay, so so I was thinking the way that we can prevent this from happening, um, if it's happening, all this potential sex trafficking, and apartments, condos, residential, um, homes, and even possibly commercial businesses. The way that we can prevent this is by obviously first and foremost creating the digital ID for every single human being on the planet, and then having a tracker on each of these people, everyone, with their cell phones or whatever, by any means. That way, from this day forward, we can know where these people are going, how much time they're spending there. Every single little detail matters. Believe me, every little detail matters. It life and death is, you know, without these details taken into consideration, it could mean life or death. It could mean the bad team wins or the good team wins. It's either the bad people win or the good people win. You know, and if you guys really want good people to win, you guys will provide the digital IDs to everyone, track everyone, because what will be happening is there's going to be a user connection, people meeting up in the same proximity. Later on, AI technology can use that information, that data, to its advantage by connecting these people um, to crimes that happened in the past. And the only way this is going to happen is if everyone has a digital ID right now and everyone's getting tracked right now. Without that, AI technology is not solving these crimes in the future. So, like I said, details matter. Um, and um, since because I can see a group of people go into one room, like I was sharing with all of you, to do whatever it is they're doing, and then later on in the timeline of humanity, the years as the years come and go, AI technology will be able to say, "Oh, these guys were right here at this timeline, at this location, for this many hours," and one of the guys here, 5 years later, um, one of these guys actually happened to kill someone, and it had to do with something about sex trafficking. So it has a connection, some type of link, some type of connection to sex trafficking. So now, like the CIA or whatever, you detectives out there, you homicide detectives or whatever, can look at these other people as potential um, traffickers as well, as potential um, like co-defendants, people who are working together. Okay, so that will be um, a possibility, and so and then let's say one of the other guys did something like, let's say he became very abusive towards his wife, and maybe even killed her. So now there's two people in jail. The other guys are still out, um, and these guys are in there for a long time, and then eventually they no longer want to be a part of that lifestyle. As a matter of fact, at this point in their lifetime, in the timeline of humanity, they're at the point where they don't wish any of their actions to befall others on any level, at at any degree. So they confess their sin, and they come forthwith, and they become, they are yeah, they just become transparent, and they share everything they were doing. um to, like, to criminal detectives while they're incarcerated. So now they decide they want to work with the law as opposed to not, as opposed to working against it. They want to work with the law. Um, but even though, let's say, 10 years pass by, is it really going to take 10 years of wasted time for you people to become serious about this? Or will you people listen to what I have to say and instantly provide everyone with a digital ID and tracking of some formats with AI technology, so that when these people do eventually confess their sins, you guys will be able to gather more intel, more information, and you guys will be able to use AI technology um, to scan for people like this in situations like this. Because I'm just a human, just like any of you. I'm only looking at this from my own perspective. I can't look at this from 50 different scenarios. Okay, AI technology can. Um, and based on what other people say, you know, and the information they provide, it could mean people getting liberated or not from these type of situations in the future. And hopefully right now as well. Okay. Um, so this information is super important. I can't stress it enough. So yeah, if any of you out there, if any of you feel, if you have any doubts, if you're feeling awkward, um, if none of this makes sense to all of you, I would encourage you guys to get the cameras. I mean, the cameras, you guys can probably get some used ones. Um, I think I bought mine for $40, and then every month um, it's only $10. But the only thing that sucks though is that you guys have to have an internet connection. If you guys don't have an internet connection, then this stuff is not going to the cloud without that internet connection. Luckily for me, I have my brother, my parents who provide me with free Wi-Fi. So that's the only way I'm able to keep these things activated. That's why I also shared a video talking about Starlink. So Starlink is a company that's providing people with internet, um, in places where there is no internet, like off grid, rural areas, places where people can't have any internet because there's no cellular connection or whatever. There's like no connection, there is no cell towers or whatever the case might be. So Starlink is providing this, but only if you guys have the satellite dishes. I think. I think. Now, You know, it's my hope and my dream for Starlink to provide every single human body with free internet in the future. Even if the United States of America has to pay for it, even if the people have to pay for it, for the greater good of humanity, I think it goes without question, right? Um, so so you guys might ask, so should this be a government supported, you know, movement? And of course, it should, you know, without debate, like signed, stamped, approved, you know, moving on to the next things type of thing. Because at the end of the day, it's all about education. And not just that, but all of this internet stuff with AI technology is going to reveal who's utilizing their time wisely and who's not. It's going to be able to filter people out. Um, like I said, details matter. Um, and people won't have any excuse why they can't get an education. And they won't be able to blame anyone other than themselves. Okay, so so for those reasons, it's also important. Um, and I just that, but I just shared another video not that long ago, talking about how like our own countries, our own police departments should be providing people with free Wi-Fi, free internet, um, um, without having to pay for it, because it will be those cameras will be used to help law enforcement. That data will basically be given to them. Like, here you go. It's like giving it to God, giving all your cares and worries over to God. Why? Because He loves you and He cares for you, right? So, um, so all your responsibility will be to do is to access the cameras, to obtain cameras, connect them, and then the government providing free internet to the iCloud in real time, even if there's a blackout. Those satellites out there, those Starlink satellites, will keep the cameras going for everyone's protection. Everyone's protection. I repeat, for everyone's protection. So now there won't be an excuse. Now people won't be able to say, well, You know, you guys were you guys were backing up your shit to the iCloud, but your Wi-Fi went out. You know, in between the time that a lot of people got injured, killed, tortured, molested, murdered, raped, burned alive, whatever you can think of. It all happened when the internet went down. You know, and that's just some those are some of the things that I don't understand and that we as a human race shouldn't tolerate. Because nothing in this life makes sense to me. Trust me, I'm like a knowledge seeker. I've been watching a ton of movies. Even in life, I I try to go look for a job, but these jobs are not satisfying to me. They're not meaningful. They don't mean shit to me. But this, however, it means a lot to me because it pertains to real life. You know, and not just that, but um, some people are getting the death penalty. So I know, without a shadow of a doubt, that these people in the law or whatever are not fucking around. You know, people in courts, they're not fucking around. They will be quick to sentence someone to death if someone's like a serial killer. You know, especially if someone just killing for sports, for the sport. You know, like just doing it for fun. Just just like anyone they can get their hands on, like a killing machine. Um, like yeah, like everyone in the world would agree. Like yeah, it's okay for that one to go through the death row process. You know, but if someone is defending him or herself, then that's when the whole case changes. Okay, that's when shit gets flipped all around. You know, that's when things have to be considered. More evaluation has to be given and considered, and this and that. So it basically postpones the possibility of someone getting the death penalty if it's under self defense. But even then, someone could still potentially get the death penalty. So um, I'm not really advising anyone what they should do or not do, even though I am. Uh, but it's I don't know how to put this. It's like it's like the disciples of Jesus Christ. One of them said that he's torn between the two. He said, I want to do what is good, but I don't. But he said, but since I realize that, it lets me know that it's not me doing it, but the sin within me that does it, or something like that. Even though people still have control over their own mind and body for the most part. Um, so, anyways, if you guys are done with the bullshit, um, this is one way to go about it. Out of all the other possibilities you people can possibly think of. Hmm. So yeah, um, I think I covered everything. I think I got this out of my mind. Because I watched a ton of I've watched a ton of videos you know where people have um some abductors, like they have some, what are they called again, like hostages or people they abduct. Like I remember there's one, oh yeah, it's this one movie, um Black Balloons movie, yeah, horror. Yeah, this one, The Black Phone. I remember watching this movie, and and I remember watching this movie, The Black Phone, the movie, and 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 there's a ton of other cases where people who abduct children or sex trafficking type of people, what they would do, for the most parts, is they will take the children or whoever they take, and they will put them either in a basement, um, or somewhere out in the woods, like in a cabin or in a guest room, in a barn, some place where there's not a lot of traffic, a lot of people, going in and out of or from or whatever. Like they're not around that area, okay? So we have to take that into consideration. We have to remember that. So these people, they want to do these things in secret. They want to keep it a secret for as long as possible. And the last thing they want is to get caught. Okay? um I remember watching this one video. There's the Amber Amber case. Then there was another case where there was a mother and a father, and the father locked his own daughter up, um, I think in a barn, for 24 years. And she bore children. She bore him children. I think they had like 4 children together. So. Oh, yeah, and police officers went over there when, or like originally, when they reported her missing. And all along, she was there. And when the police officers went, he was like, she left. She took off to a different state or whatever. So they were like, all right. It wasn't until 24 years later that they discovered that she was right there the whole time. And it's so true, like, you know, as a police officer back at that time, like 20 years ago or whatever, even right now, like, I work my ass off. And at the end of the day, I don't even have money to travel to a different state. Like, who the fuck has the money to go investigate? Who has money? Everyone, everyone's always bitching about money. Everyone's always bitching about how we're gonna pay the bills, how we're gonna pay for the gas, how we're gonna pay for the fast food. Who, who's gonna pay for all the meals? We have a big family. Who's gonna pay for everyone? This and that, this and that, this and that. It's always revolving around money. Okay? So that's something I have to deal with. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money problems. Money, 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 money. So if it's really like that out there, then it makes sense. Police officers go there, they're like, hey, I'm sorry, we're sorry, we can't find your daughter. Do you know where she might have gone? Oh, yes, Mr. Officer. She took off to a different state with one of her friends. Oh, okay. Alright, well, thank you for letting us know. Um, if you hear from her or whatever, let us know. Or whatever the case may be. He was like, yeah, yeah, whatever. Fuck off. That type of thing. Like I said, 24 years later, they discovered that she was right there all along. Because it has to do with money, right? People don't have money to go investigate. People don't have the money to. How can they even think? How can they even begin to think? Oh, well, I'm a police officer and I can investigate this. If money wasn't an issue, hey, I will volunteer to drive over there and scope everything out. Maybe I'll use this time to take a vacation out of the city and possibly spot your daughter over there. But no one has it like that. Everyone's a goddamn slave. Work, work, work. 12-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts, just to get barely by in this life. Doesn't make sense to anyone. But thank God for AI technology, right? Thank God for the internet. Thank God that the Holy Spirit is AI technology. That's what Jesus Christ was talking about. He said, "It's better that I go to the Father so I could send the Holy Spirit to you, people." And now we have it. Don't tell me you guys are so blind that you guys can't see what the fuck the Holy Spirit is. It's so fucking obvious that the Holy Spirit is AI technology. The Holy Spirit is the internet. The Holy Spirit is the World Wide Web. So, anyways, God bless you all and sleep well.